What if you could stop a car crash before it ever even happens? I don't mean reacting to it. I mean predicting the risk in real time, second by second. Well, today, we're diving into an AI system that's basically a guardian for our roads, an intelligence that never sleeps, always watching for those hidden dangers that lead to tragedy.
First, I want you to just think about this number, 1.3 million. According to the World Health Organization, that's how many people die in road accidents every single year. It's a massive global crisis that's happening on our daily commutes. So what if we could actually break that number down and start tackling the things that are causing it?
You know, the problem isn't just one thing. It really boils down to a combo of three major risks. First up, you've got riders without helmets. That simple choice triples the risk of a fatal head injury. Then there's speed. Just going too fast is a factor in a third of all deadly crashes. And finally, the roads themselves, potholes and other defects that can turn a normal drive into an absolute disaster.
And this really shows you the problem with how we've been doing things. Traditionally, it's all manual patrols and separate sensors. It's totally reactive. We just respond after an accident happens. But today's traffic is way too complex for that. What we need is something that's always on, 24/7, that's proactive, and sees the big picture before anything bad can happen.
So how do we get that proactive view? Well, the solution this research proposes is pretty elegant. What if we could give our roads a health score? That's the whole idea behind the AI-powered Road Safety Risk Index. So this Road Safety Risk Index, or RSRI for short, is just a single dynamic score from 0 to 1. Seriously, think of it like a live report card for any piece of road. It takes all those complicated risks, speeding, no helmets, potholes, and boils them all down to one simple number. 0 is safe, 1 is high risk. That's it. Anyone can look at it and instantly get how dangerous a spot is. So how does it come up with that score? Well, it's not random. The weights are all based on real-world danger. Speeding makes up the biggest piece of the pie at 40%, because it's the single largest cause of fatal accidents. Helmet violations are right behind that, and then you have pothole risk. It's a really smart, data-driven way to balance everything out. All right, this is where it gets really cool. How does the AI actually do all this? Well, you can think of the system as having three distinct digital senses that are all working together, constantly analyzing the road. The first sense is all about watching behavior. It's been trained to spot one of the most critical risks out there for motorcyclists, not wearing a helmet. So check this out. The AI doesn't just see a person. It uses a powerful model to identify every single rider in a video feed. It zooms in on their head and instantly decides if there's a helmet there or not. It flags violations in real time with an accuracy a human could never, ever hope to match, especially across an entire city. Okay, on to sense number 2. This one is all about tackling that number one risk factor we talked about earlier, vehicle speed. And this is so much smarter than just a radar gun. The system uses an algorithm to give every single vehicle it sees a unique digital ID. Then it tracks that specific car, say car number 4 or car number 52, as it moves through the frame to calculate its precise speed. So it's not just a snapshot, it's tracking an entire journey. The third and final sense shifts its focus away from the driver's behavior and onto the environment itself, basically the health of the road. Now this is what I find so incredibly clever. Instead of just drawing a square around a pothole, the AI traces its exact jagged shape. By measuring the true size, it can then classify how bad it is, low, medium, or critical. That means city officials can prioritize repairs, fixing the most dangerous hazards first. That's a real game changer. Okay, so the AI has its three senses constantly watching the road, but seeing the danger is only half the battle, right? How does all that data actually turn into action? Well, that's where the system's communication backbone comes in. This diagram really lays it all out. The camera feed comes in, and it gets processed by those three AI modules we just talked about: vehicles, helmets, and potholes. That data is all mashed together to calculate the RSRI score. And if that score ever crosses a dangerous line, boom, an alert is instantly sent out to the authorities. It's a perfect, seamless flow from seeing a problem to acting on it. And when I say instantly, I really mean it. The total time from the AI detecting a risk to an alert being sent is less than 100 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. And that's the kind of speed that makes proactive intervention actually possible. Now, this all sounds incredible in theory, but we have to ask the biggest question of all. Does this RSII score, this one little number, actually predict what happens in the real world? Does it really work?
Before we get the answer, let's just remember the mission here. The whole point is to shift from a reactive paradigm to a proactive model. In other words, to finally stop tragedies before they happen, not after.
And here is the proof. The researchers tested the system at a known accident black spot. The AI came back with a high-risk RSRI score of 0.78. That location had 12 accidents a year. Then, they tested it at a safe intersection. The AI gave it a low score of 0.22, and that spot had only one accident. The data is crystal clear. A high RSRI score directly correlates to a high risk of accidents. It works.
And this leaves us with a final, really powerful thought. The technology is validated. The system can predict risk with incredible accuracy. So the question is no longer if we can do this, but what are we going to do with this new ability? Just think, what if every single city had this kind of foresight? How many of those 1.3 million lives could we save every year?